Welcome back, Green Spring. Now we're going to talk with Kelly Lukschander on volunteer hours and programs. So, Kelly, welcome to Village in Motion.
Thank you, Gray. It's good to be here today. I think we were both just talking. We know today's a busy day. For both of us, it's the Village Fair.
That's right.
So that is a huge event put on by Community Resources. So, and it's
and we have a lot of volunteers.
We have a lot of volunteers,
Yeah.
so it's highlighting all of those resident groups that we have. And if you're not sure if you want to sign up for a group, you can dabble around and see what people are doing. But yeah, it's chock full of volunteers, people running that event. So you have two hats right now. You're going to host, and then you're going to go over there.
Yeah, that's right. A couple events over there for me.
Yeah, well, that's
so
awesome.
if you weren't planning to go to the Village Fair, please do.
Please do.
It's something that you really should do.
Yeah, it's fun. You can just see what other people are doing. Maybe it will even give you an idea to start a group of your own if you don't see anything.
Or to join one that's there.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I will highlight Gray's group real quick. You'll be probably having a musical performance for your troubadour group, right?
We will.
I know a lot of times.
Starting at noon, we're going to play for 15 minutes.
Excellent. So that's a little plug for Gray. But back to me. I have half a table at the fair today if you want to come see me after this.
Oh.
And the main thing I want to talk to people about, if you have any regular general questions, come see me, of course. But I'm also starting a sign up to attend the Alzheimer's Walk this September, which takes place in Reston. That's the one that we participate in. So I want to talk a little bit about that.
Good.
So the Alzheimer's Walk in Reston, it's important that we go to this because Green Spring is a large sponsor to this organization. So we give money as an organization, and so it's really nice if we can get a good group of people together, to show, yes, we're here, we're in support. And I know Alzheimer's, this is a disease that we deal with every day. It's something we see, and it's really good to give back. So if you're interested in going, we actually provide a bus to the Alzheimer's Walk, and I went last year. It was a lot of fun. And we maybe had one bus full. It was about 10 to 15 people, and I think we can do better than that. So I want, if you have a free, it's a Sunday, I think it's September the 23rd. I know it's a ways out, but we're trying to get a rough idea of how many people want to go, because if there's more, we'll get more buses. Like, heck, let's get Green Spring flooding the place. The reason I really had a good time last year is we leave around 1 o'clock. We get there around 1:30. And before the walk takes place at 3. They have kind of like a few vendors. There's some fun stuff you can do. They also have like a DJ, and then they do this cool like pump up kind of ceremony where they have people talking about the disease, and some people who've donated a lot talk about their stories, and it's just nice. It's kind of like a big pep rally before the walk. So I really encourage people to come. If you haven't done it, go ahead. If you have been, tell people. It's a lot of fun. You also get a free t-shirt. I know that does it. Green Spring and Ashby Ponds last year created a shirt together. So we had our own shirts. They were Green Spring and Ashby. So Erickson Living t-shirts that had a nice little logo on it, so we stand out and you can see us in a crowd. So let's have a big crowd to show our support.
My family has a team there, and we have a team t-shirt. As a matter of fact, the t-shirt represents heart, ovarian, and Alzheimer's.
That's excellent.
So we have the 3 logos on the back.
Yeah, that's perfect.
It's we've been doing that since 2002.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So everybody, comes and shows their support, and if they have different teams, that's awesome. But even for you, Gray, you could hitch a ride with us on the bus, and we could have a good time. So if you're interested, you can sign up with me at the fair today, give me a call, or later on in the year, we'll be hosting little sign-up sheets. So if you miss it today, don't worry. You'll see it again. You can sign up with me. So that's the first thing I wanted to touch on. The second thing I wanted to do is highlight a little goodness that's been going on in the volunteer department. So I think it was 2 weeks ago, Garden Ridge, our programming staff, had a whole week of activities. It was a big week for them. And they had just different events every single day. There was you were there.
I was.
I was about to say, they had all sorts of stuff. There was a Hollywood night, then they had an Americana with good old Gray right here singing for the residents, and just every day was full of events. So on the Friday that they were going to have kind of a finale carnival, and they knew they needed volunteers. So this is people to help with food stations handing out different things like cotton candy, and they had soft pretzels and popcorn. They also had, face painters, and they also had entertainers like jugglers and stuff like that. So they needed volunteers, but it got a little bit more interesting because the rain forecast. So this carnival that was going to take place beautifully outside, plenty of room, moved inside. Imagine that, a full carnival inside of Garden Ridge. How did they do it? The programming team did such a great job. So what they did was they spread the things out on 2 different floors, so you could go onto these floors to the carnival and go see the exhibits, have a caricature done. But then what they did was they had the entertainers go to each floor in each room and see if people wanted a visit from a juggler, a balloon artist, a magician was there. So these volunteers that we had were able to, number one, either assist with the people walking around and show them where to go, or assist with the caricature artist stand there, or hand out food. So it was really awesome of a collaboration. Like, the team put this together, but we had resident volunteers there to help. So I wanted to highlight this because this is a one-time kind of volunteer opportunity.
Well, they are a good team over there.
Yeah, they really are.
And they do such great jobs decorating.
They do, but
and
they
interacting.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
But they also need extra hands. They can only do so much.
Absolutely.
So having what I do usually when they have one of these events, they might say, Kelly, I need about 10 volunteers. And so it's up to me to go find them. So it's nice if that's something that interests you, if you're like, hey, I could be available and I'd like to do a one-time thing, or I'd like to help with activities, let me know, because I'll add you to my little email list or call list, and say one of these events come up, you get a blast from me, either an email or a call, and I'll say, hey, this is the event, can you do it? And so you're not tied in, you're not locked in, but if you are available, you can help me. So
how many do you have on the list?
So right now my list is about 20, 25. It's not as big as I'd like it, especially because, they might need 10 at a time. So you get tired if I'm calling you all the time. So the bigger the list is, the better.
Absolutely.
And you can choose the event that, you are more passionate about, you'd be more interested in.
So that would include egg hunts, and they have a little village fair themselves.
You're absolutely correct.
They have lots of different events.
They do, and there's one that's going to be coming up later in the year. Garden Ridge goes to the chapel. Now, we've done this a few years now. You're probably familiar, and we usually need people to help us physically escort some people over. So that one's a tougher job. That's a physical job. Sometimes it's a little bit easier if you're somebody who can just be an extra hand to sit at a table and assist with people. That is something that you should let me know, because I can just keep you on a kind of separate list if you're not really one to be physically wheeling someone in a wheelchair across campus. So we have opportunities for all ranges. If you're sedentary, cool, we can have you help us out too. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Again, I'll also have a table today at the Village Fair where I have a little sign-up sheet for that group as well. So come by to the fair. The good thing is the fair was extended this year. It's happening right now at 10 o'clock. You and I aren't there, and going till 2. I know it normally starts at 11. So you have 3 hours, 4 hours?
4 hours.
4 hours to come see me and sign up for these fun things. So that's
3.5.
3.5. Yeah, I'm here now. You could sign up either way.
You've got the list right there.
Yeah, the list is
Somebody
out.
else at your table?
I'm sharing it with the philanthropy committee, so there's somebody there that can help you. But
good.
I'll be there at 10:30, so get there, guys.
Yeah.
So another opportunity I wanted to mention is our Garden Ridge Pet Therapy Group. So these are residents and some external people who come with their dogs once a week. We come on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. and we tour the dogs around the neighborhoods and ask people if they'd like a dog visit. Now, if you've ever seen the way that a resident reacts when a dog comes into their room just to say hello for a second, the light in their eyes when they see that animal is just so amazing. So I'm calling out to maybe new residents or residents that have a dog and you weren't sure if it's something you might be interested in. I encourage you to reach out to me if you might be interested in doing this pet visit program.
You want a friendly dog, though.
It's friendly dogs. If you know your dog is, maybe a barker or somebody who's loud or aggressive, I would say it's not for you. But if your dog's pretty mild and is able to, walk around with ease, I would recommend just calling me. We can talk about it if you aren't sure. But the reason we're really calling for this is not only is our group small to begin with, we're maybe having 4 dogs at a time. The issue is we split off into 2 groups to cover the 2 buildings in Garden Ridge. So that means basically 2 dogs are doing all the work for all these floors. Well, Gray, we are building a 3rd building over there.
We are.
So that means we need more
dogs.
dogs.
Dogwood Commons.
It's Dogwood Commons. Yes, we need dogs for Dogwood Commons. Gray, I'm going to put you on the payroll. That is good. So yeah, we need more dogs.
I don't have any jokes though.
That was good. So we need dogs for Dogwood Commons, so we don't have to, be walking all the way around. So if you are at all interested, please let me know, because we're really trying to build this group up. It's a lot of fun. Now, I just got a puppy this weekend. It is a mixed breed. She's a lab and a hound mix, but she's so friendly. So I'm hoping once I socialize her, she's going to be joining the group at some point, and we could come on the weekends or something. But if you have a little bit of time in your schedule and you want to give back to our community, I say that's a good way to start if you have a dog. If not, we also have a lot of other opportunities in Garden Ridge. I've had people come up to me and say, I don't really know what goes on over there. I live here in independent living. I've been here, or I'm new, and I'd like to, branch out and see what people need. The biggest thing that we need in Garden Ridge is sometimes just somebody to pop in and say hello. Somebody that's willing to visit on a neighborhood, maybe sit in the common area, which are really nice, by the way. If you haven't seen the renovations, they are very nice. You could sit in the TV room and visit with people, or you could help out with our programming staff, and they have kind of recurring activities that go on through the year. Maybe you want to help with a specific thing. You could help with a chair exercise class once a week or a couple times a month. You could help with a bingo that we have going on. You could help with mass service on the weekend. So really, if you are interested in doing something, there's a way we can fit it into your schedule. There's a way we can fit it into your interests so that you feel more connected to what you're doing. So if you have time in your schedule anywhere, we can pencil you in Garden Ridge.
Yeah, I've been playing over there for 6 years almost.
Yeah.
And right now I do twice a month.
Right.
Up on the 3rd floor of Rose Court.
That's wonderful.
And I've gotten a rapport with those residents, and it's fun for me.
Absolutely.
And they seem to enjoy it too, so
yeah.
that's great.
And that's even better. Say you're somebody like Gray and you had a talent that you would like to share. We can start our own kind of activity. So you could be doing something a couple times a month. Maybe you're a gifted artist and you'd like to do a small drawing class with people over there. That would be awesome. You want to play cards. You want to, I know there's a resident who does a trivia with some of the floors that he makes himself and makes PowerPoint presentations. Pretty much if you have a gift you'd like to share, we can make it work. So that's a great example. Thank you, Gray. The last thing I wanted to touch on is the subject of volunteer hours. So I have to say this as part of the program of volunteers. We do collect volunteer hours at Green Spring, and this is Gray, as you know, because we are a nonprofit and we have to show that we have volunteers on our campus. So what we do is we report the number of volunteers that we have. So you might say, okay, but then why do you need my hours? Well, to make it a little bit more worth your while, we participate in this Presidential Service Awards program, which is nationally recognized. You obviously know this. You were a lifetime award winner last year, 4,000 hours since you've been at Green Spring. But for our residents who don't know, we also give out kind of certificates and acknowledgments each year for your service. So if you do between 100 hours to 500 plus, you get an award each year. And we have a fun, nice ceremony. So it kind of makes it, if you're already letting me know you're a volunteer, why don't you just tell me what you're doing and how many hours? And it really helps as a community when we're trying to say, we're active, we're engaged at Green Spring, look at all the stuff that we do.
How do I report my hours?
How do you report them? Great question. So this guy's good. So we have volunteer hour forms located at each front desk or on the Village Bridge if you'd like to print your own. Or if you are kind of email savvy, send me an email. I'll send you the electronic form. But you fill it out once a month, and then you put the form in the philanthropy slot at the front desk. So I think right now, Scholars is over, so it might say actually 20th anniversary survey or something. But there's a slot at the front desk, and if you don't know which one, the person there can tell you which one it is. So pretty much any way that can work for you for volunteer hours, we can make it happen. So if you're like, Kelly, let me just give you an estimate each month and I'll just email it to you. I know, Gray, for example, you send it to me just via email and I can read it. It's clear. It says, this is my hours for May. I see it, fine. So it's really, as long as you get me the hours, I can figure it out, as long as it's clear. So I really encourage people, if you haven't been doing it, if you're a new resident, you can also report the hours that you're working off campus. So that is, you know, in your church, if you work at a food bank, if you've been doing stuff outside in the community, we want you to keep doing that kind of thing.
Well, thank you very much.
No problem.
You've provided a lot of information for
Yeah.
us, and you know, and look Kelly up over at Village Fair
Yeah.
today. I mean, make sure you get over there.
Maybe I'll make a cameo and sing with your group at noon.
How about that? Well, we got some good old songs.
All right,
I'm
I'll be
sure you
there.
would know them. All right.